And the audacity for this ajushi to literally reach through the window to grab me is infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. Set my heart on fire. This is Gina Bear reporting to you for duty, and today we are going to talk about my absolute worst experiences here in South Korea. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to put out a disclaimer and say, you know what, I've been here since 2015. Obviously, not all of my experiences here have been bad. These have been like very few and far in between, but they have still happened to me. And the ratchet individuals that I mention in this video in no way, shape, or form describe Koreans as a whole, okay? I'm just talking about a very small population of very small-minded amoeba individuals. So while we are on that fact, I also wanted to say that the majority of these stories come from the area in which I live. The deal with my school was that I take the job with my school and I live in the apartment they give me. Now, you guys have seen my apartment, and like, even though it's kind of old, I still have an oven, which is like freaking awesome for like being in Korea, but I also live in a very low income area. Now, with living in a low income area, that means there are all sorts of colorful people that live here, including very old people who, you know, probably built up Korea during the Korean War and have super conservative mindsets still and think that foreigners are below them. And there's also poor people here, so people that did not get an education the way they should have. There is also offenders living in my neighborhood, as my coworker just so recently pointed out. She showed me a great neighbor search option, and I found 5 living in a very close proximity to me. So there's that. So now that you guys have a context about where I live, like I said, this small section of Korea does not represent Korea as a whole. But because I live in this small section of the most ratchet individuals in Korea, I have a bunch of tea to spill. So you guys like it when I spill the tea? Here I am with my coffee mug and my mini plate, and I am here to just dump out the boiling, sizzling, hot, delicious tea up in your face. Now, before we jump further into this video, I just want to remind you guys, if you guys like life, love, and travel abroad, please be sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and follow me on Instagram, where all the awesome stuff goes on and you can keep like up to date with my life. And it's also been a while since I actually got a chance to like sit down and talk to you guys about life in Korea. So here we go. Let's get into this without further ado. So my first super ratchet story comes from an ajumma. As you guys know, I don't really like this area. I don't like interacting with the people in this area. In order to avoid them, I usually walk my dog super early in the morning or super late at night, and when I come home from work, she gets walked very briefly and then we just go home. So one particular night while I was walking Honey, this lady came out and startled my dog. Like, she literally came out of the bushes nowhere. Like, I don't know what she was doing. And Honey started barking. And as soon as I started walking away, this lady, for whatever reason, decided that tonight was the night she was gonna mess with me. She started screaming, like, at the top of her lungs. She was like, "Yeah, ajumma, michaso." Now, at this point, I'm like, holy God, who screams just because the dog barked? I mean, I'm outside, you know, like, children scream and cry outside. Why shouldn't a dog bark outside? But whatever. So to avoid escalating the situation, I just took Honey, put her in her bag, and started walking away. To which this lady started following me, still screaming at me. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is she gonna do to me? So I start running from her, and this lady starts chasing after me like a ravenous zombie trying to take a chunk of bacon from my back. I would be lying if I say that I didn't almost pee myself after that happened. Like, who does that? Alright, ratchet story numero dos comes from the caretaker grandpa of my apartment. But I gotta give credit where credit is due, because at least he's misogynistic to all women in the apartment. But me, I'm more of a free game because I'm a single unmarried woman living in Korea alone. I have no family here and I'm a foreigner, which makes me a super easy target. Grandpa has messed with me before. He's literally like come to my door, like pounding on the door, screaming at me because he says that I do not sort the trash properly, which is complete and utter mumbo jumbo, because there is no CCTV downstairs where we have to throw out the trash. Like, how would he know if I was sorting the trash, like, right or wrong? You know, like, the fact that he's always, like, pointing fingers at me saying I'm the one that's, like, not sorting the trash right is just completely and utterly disgusting. This time, he decided to take the passive-aggressive route. He literally left me a 3x3 paper, like, right in front of my door, telling me to sort the trash right. So I heard him, like, skulking around, so I was like, what is going on? So I opened the door and I see him doing this, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're making trash in the hallway in front of, like, my door. What's going on? So he starts yelling at me saying, you know, like, literally pointing his finger in my face, very aggressively saying, you don't sort the trash right, what is wrong with you, blah, 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 blah. And dogs know when somebody's being aggressive to their owner. So Honey started barking because, you know, like, what's going on? And then because he was yelling, the dog was barking, the neighbors started complaining because he was causing a ruckus. So, you know what, at this point, I just had enough of him. So I just took a deep breath. I drew myself up to my full height because I'm 5'7", aka 170 centimeters. And I just told him, shut up. So then he's like, no, shut up. I'm like, yes, shut up. And it was at that point he was like, 알았어, 알았어, and then he just like skulked away and just left me there like, shut up is a magic word. Now, our next story comes from the time when the devil tried me 3 times. 'Twas a Wednesday, and all had gone well on the day of the hump. I was in a particularly good mood, so I decided to take a long walk to the mall. Now, I was walking on the street because, as you guys know, I told you that where I live there are not sidewalks because it's a very old part of town. So I was out on the street, which is public domain, and I'm perfectly within my rights to be on the street walking my dog. Now, Honey started barking at another dog because when dogs bark at her, she barks back, you know. My bitch, she don't take that kind of stuff. There's a cafe on the street where I was on, and some ajumma comes out of her cafe, is like, "Aish, shikuro, kocha," like literally telling me to get lost, which is like so freaking rude. Like, you have no idea. So I was like, yeah, no, we're not moving. So I said nothing, just literally had this face. The second time Satan tried me, I was finally at the mall, and you know what? A lot of places in the mall, because of coronation, offer takeout. So I was getting some takeout at one of my favorite restaurants that serves super delicious French fries, okay? It's my kryptonite. I love French fries. Like, I don't know. Give this video a like if you like them too, because girl. In any case, there was a Korean couple in front of me who had their dog in the bag as well, who ordered takeout. No problem. I had my dog in the bag, was gonna order some takeout. The cleaning lady of that place looks at me, looks at Honey in the bag, and then tells the cashier of the restaurant that I'm at not to serve me because my dog is in the bag and I shouldn't be there. And I was like, y'all just served this Korean couple in front of me, didn't say anything to them, got takeout, and now you're saying that I can't order here because the rules changed. Yeah, okay. If that doesn't infuriate you, I don't know what will. Needless to say, I was pretty upset about it. So I wasn't nice about it, said some rude things to her, and I just left. So I was like, doesn't matter. This day is not ruined, Satan, not today. So the third time the devil tried me was when I got on the bus. Now, the laws of Korea are I am allowed to be on the bus with my pet as long as my pet is in a bag or a carrier. It's not a problem. Now, the ajushi who was driving the bus looked right into my soul and was like, whatever, you know, saw my dog in the bag, didn't say anything. I was sitting down all nice. I had my headphones in, my mask on, dog was in the bag, all was well. Apparently not for this guy, because halfway through the ride, he decides I shouldn't be on the bus anymore because of the dog. Pulls the whole bus over to a bus stop and then starts yelling at me to get off the bus, which was kind of alarming because I could hear him over my headphones. So I take out my headphones to humor him, and he's like yelling at me, telling me to get off the bus, that I need to leave, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, first of all, I know your patience is going to run out before mine does, because I know you got to keep a schedule with your bus. If you've ever been on the buses here in South Korea, you know they drive like they're on the NASCAR track. They got to do their bali. They got to keep up with their schedule. You know, I knew his patience was going to give out before mine. So I just sat there and I just let him scream, because you know what? Yelling is a form of intimidation. And if you give in to that, you're giving the yeller what they want. And I'm just like, I'm not about that life, sir. So again, I just sat there with a completely blank expression on my face. He got back in his like little chair and started driving the bus, and I got off the bus all nice and neat and all that good stuff. And if you guys were watching my Instagram stories that day, this is what happened next.
So, you know, no big deal. Satan tried me on 3 different occasions today, so I thought I'd drink in his honor. We're drinking Casillero del Diablo. We're gonna drink 1 for the woman who told me get the f away from her shop when I was on the street. She can't tell me to get off the street. 2 for the lady at the food court who cock-blocked me from getting takeout. I take the cock-blocking of my french fries very seriously. And you know what? Let's just drink the whole rest of the bottle to the bus driver. Happy 4-day weekend and Buddha's birthday.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually have a very dirty sense of humor at times. So here's the deal, Satan. If you're going to be riding my ass like that, at least pull my hair.
Alright, so the next story takes place in Seoul, and if this one doesn't boil your potatoes, I don't know what will, because just recounting this story, and this happened to me recently, also still makes me very, very upset. But I'm going to tell you guys anyway, because, you know what? Why the heck not? Now, I was wearing a spaghetti strap dress, like very similar to what I'm wearing now, and I thought I should put some context that in Korea, like, it is considered like a super no-no to show like any sort of chest and shoulders, but I'm an advocate of wearing whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, like live and let live. But that's not how it works here, you know, because the older generation is still very much conservative, and, you know, this automatically makes me a hussy. And you know what? My dress that day was super freaking cute anyway, and I wanted to wear it because it was hot and it was cute, so whatever. Now, I'm sitting in a cafe and the window's open, right? So I'm enjoying a nice tea and a cake with a friend. We're having a good time. And the audacity for this ajushi to literally reach through the window to grab me is infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. So this guy grabbed my shoulder and then was like, oh, so beautiful, like just being really creepy. And first of all, I don't like it when strangers touch me. I especially don't like it when strange men touch me. Like, the entitlement and the audacity to touch somebody you don't know just blows my mind. I feel like because I'm a foreigner, it's free game and I'm considered loosey-goosey and like super friendly. Yeah, no, I'm not friendly. He found that out very quickly when I proceeded to have a mini meltdown in the middle of the cafe, screaming and swearing at the top of my lungs. Why was he touching me? What his problem was? And he just then ran away. I don't know what else to say to this story besides the fact that it was very distressing that a stranger that I had no idea who he was reaching through a window just to touch me. Now for my next story and my last story, this is the icing on top of the cake. So as you guys know, recently there was another outbreak here in Korea. It was a small outbreak because the Korean government like pretty much like smashed it right away. But when the social distancing restrictions eased here, Itaewon opened up all of their bars and their clubs and their nightlife. Now, to give a little context about the Itaewon area, it used to be primarily known as a foreigner area because the American military was based there, a lot of American military families lived there, there were a lot of businesses that catered to foreigners there. But I believe like 2 years ago, they pretty much moved all of the American military from Seoul, like out to the countryside. And since then, Koreans have taken over the area. So it's not really like a foreigner hotspot like it used to be. In Itaewon, there is a place called Homo Hill. And I'm not trying to like be derogatory or anything. That is literally what it's known as. Even, you know, the gay community here call it Homo Hill. Now, it should not even matter what anybody's sexual orientation is, but here in Korea, it does matter because this is a conservative country. So there was a gay guy who was partying up on Homo Hill. Now, Homo Hill is kind of off the main strip. It's like kind of away from everybody, but all of like the bars and the nightclubs and whatever, there's small little places that are literally like right on top of each other, like on a hill going up. So it's very easy if somebody has the virus to be able to spread it everywhere. So this guy, you know, spread it all around that area and then went to the main strip and was going to like bars and clubs or whatever. But the thing is like the way you party here in Korea, like you check out the vibe of like various clubs and bars. This outbreak then triggered some xenophobia towards foreigners because, oh, Itaewon was primarily a foreigner area. So if you're a foreigner, that means you're always in Itaewon. Actually, no, I hate Itaewon. I don't like going there. But anyway, because of that like fear, because people thought there was going to be a second outbreak of corona, people started blaming the foreigners. I was walking to work, okay? I took off my mask to drink my coffee, which is well within my rights, okay? Because not even Koreans here wear their masks properly anymore. A lot of them like wear their masks like down around their chins. They're like not covering everything. So I just thought I'd put that out there too. So again, like I said, took it off so I could drink my coffee. And some grandma literally started screaming at me, being like, "You're a foreigner. You need to wear your mask. You have the disease, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "Look, what is wrong with you?" And I'm like sitting there like, cease and desist. I must escape this situation. So I start like walking away, right? And she's following me, like yelling all of these things to me. And I'm just like, you need to stop like watching the news and being so xenophobic because your behavior is just absolutely abhorrent. That is it today for my crazy, terrible, worst experiences here in South Korea. I hope y'all enjoyed the sizzling hot tea and, you know, got an insight that not everything is roses, daisies, and no, Opar is not going to sweep you away on his white unicorn and you are going to forever live in Hallyu, aka K-pop land. But yeah, let me know, you know, your thoughts or whatever in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys like life, love, travel abroad, please be sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and follow me on Instagram where all the good stuff goes down. I look forward to connecting with you guys on the social media platforms. And I will talk to y'all lovelies later. Gina Bear, signing out.